Feet right under. And we've been working on all four corners of the feet, right? So let's just take a moment to do that. And we've got the big toe mounds in contact with the earth, and then we take it to the outer corners of the feet, of the heels, outside corners of the heels, inside corners of the heels, and little toe mounds on the mat here, okay? And now let's lift the toes, spread them out, all 10 toes, and put them down. So you have a nice firm base of support here. And then see where everything is starting to line up here. Hips over ankles, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, hands by your side rather than forward to your thighs, by your side, and palms face forward. And from here, we can really start to breathe. The heart is nice and open, lifting through the spine, makes plenty of room for all the organs to work. So much important work going on right in the torso here, and just breathe. Calming and settling the breath. And then just some nice round and full deep breaths. So exhale, and then as you inhale, think of the whole circumference of your body being filled with air. And then as you exhale, everything softens. And as you inhale again, everything fills up, front, back, two sides. Let's add some arms to this, so take your hands out by your side here, exhale, and then keeping the arms soft, just raise them up and let them float down. And just raise them up, so soft, right? We're thinking about circles a lot today, so you might even look like a ballerina when your hands come up, right? And down. And one more nice deep breath up and down. All right, shake things out. So we're going to start our spinal series with the side to side. We'll be doing cats and cows from hands and knees here. So just take your feet comfortably, maybe slightly wider than hip width distance apart. Bring the arms up and hold on to the elbows. If this gets uncomfortable, you can always bring your arms forward or hold on to your wrists instead. Everybody happy so far? We're going to tilt to the left, not far, just warming up, and to the right, and back to the left, and to the right. And now when you come back to the left, make a big circle with your body, down, around, and up. And then make a circle the other way. Down, around, and up. Okay, and now we're going to do it again. To the left, to the right, to the left, yep, to the right. Those circles feel good, don't they? And take it down, around, and up. And go the other way, down, around, and up. All right, let's do that one more time. Side to side, side to side, and then down, around, and up. So the knees and hips are moving here, and the other side, down, around, and up. Ooh, now release and shake those arms out. Ooh, give them a little shake, shake, shake. All right. And for our twisting, we're going to stay on one side. So the legs still are wider than hip width distance. And take your left arm and reach across to the right, and then come back and reach behind you to the left. So it's going across to the right, behind you to the left. Kind of like you're throwing a ball forward and back. And so if your heels decide they want to come up, let your heels move. Forward and back. And the next time you go back to the left, just come back to center here. And then we're going to do the same thing with the right. Reach across to the left and come back. Reach and come back. Reach and come back. And 3 and 2. And the next time you come back to the right, just hold and then come center and shake everything out. All right, so let's come to mountain pose at the back of the mat. Feet hip-width distance apart. Okay. And we're going to float the arms up, inhale, and exhale, folding from the hip creases. Don't worry about how far down your hands come at all. Just go where they naturally go, where you can keep your hips over your ankles, legs straight, and then bring your hands to your thighs, press your hips back and shine your heart forward. And start to bend your knees, draw your hips down, hands to the mat, and walk yourself forward into a nice plank. That's always a good place to start, isn't it? The knees could be up or down in your plank. And then take yourself into a downward facing dog. And we might as well go ahead and pedal out the feet here, bend one knee and then the other, and really get those toes nice and released here also. We're going to need them. Take one heel down and hold. Press your other heel down and hold. Press both heels down and hold. And now we're going to try and get the knees to the mat at the same time. So control, 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 knees down. Okay, coming into tabletop. So remember, in tabletop, the knees are under the hips. The wrists are under the shoulders, and if that bothers your wrists, you can roll up the front of your mat. You want the heel of your hand a little higher. That takes some of that right angle out. Okay, you can also go stand with your hands on a wall instead, okay? And here's another thing. I have shown this to a lot of students and they like this. If you don't want your wrists down, you can do your cats and cows this way, right? From kneeling. So wherever you are, arch your back, shine your heart forward, the head follows, and then round your spine and gaze towards your lap. So cats and cows are simple, but what you want to make sure you're not doing is leading with the head, right? So just roll through your cats and cows. And we're going to add on here. So tuck your toes, arch your back and shine your heart forward. This is the cow. And then as you round your spine into the cat, lift your knees 2 inches off the mat. And then bring your knees down. And come back into the cow, tuck toes, lift knees, cat. Okay, and do that 2 more times. As you can tell, the core has to really work to get those knees up. And then the next series, come to neutral spine for a moment, is going to be cow to downward facing dog. So let's go cow, heart shines forward, tuck toes, lift down dog. Knees down smoothly into cow, tuck toes up, down dog. 2 more times like that, knees down, roll, arch, and down dog. And last time, roll, arch, into down dog. All right, and in this down dog, just go ahead and wiggle around for a moment. And then once again, knees come down. Same time they get to the mat. Same time, sit off to the side and take your legs forward. Okay, shake out those wrists. So always remember, this is your practice for this moment of your life right now, right? So whatever happened today and your weekend is going to have an impact on how your practice is. So we're going to accept that and work with that. All right, I have a new series of core for you. Who's excited? Yes, I thought so, I know. All right, so we're going to, I'll just show you quick for 1 second. It's going to start out with 2 feet on the mat and one leg up, other leg extends. Then we're going to try it with the knees bent. Then we're going to try it with 2 legs, and you're going to go where you want to with this. All right, so everybody come to your back. 2 feet to the mat. I was going to tell you before class started, but I was afraid you might leave. So here you are. You're stuck now. All right, right leg up. Now, just lift your left foot about 2 inches off the mat and start to extend your left leg as much as possible. Yep, and now bring both feet back to the mat. Take your left leg straight up, lift your right foot, extend your right leg, and bring it in. All right, anybody feeling that? You could do that for the whole rest of the time, thank you, that we're together, right? Or you can start with your knees lifted. Now my knees are coming more toward my face than in a tabletop here. So we're just going to start with the knees a little in. That just is a little less pressure. Okay, right leg straight up from the hip, left leg extends. Knees in, left leg up, right leg extends. All right, if you want to go back to having 2 feet on the mat, go ahead. We're going to go right leg up, left leg forward, and in, either from bent knee or feet on the mat. Left leg up, right leg forward, and in, and one more time like this. Right leg up, left leg forward, and in, left leg up, right leg forward, and in. Hug in your knees. All right. Give me a little foot wiggle if your core is starting to feel that. Okay, so I told you there was also a straight leg option. Remember, you can be here the whole time, 2 feet on the mat, the way we first did it. You can be knees, okay? You can, and my arms are out long by my side, just, it gives me a little more stability, so you might want to try that. Okay, we're going to go 2 legs up, and right leg stays up, left leg comes down till that heel is just a few inches from the mat. Left leg up, right leg down. And up. And we're going nice and slow here, and we're switching. And up. And switch. And up. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. If your legs are straight, keep your legs straight this final time here. And go back to knees. We're going right leg up, left leg forward, and in, left leg up, right leg forward, and in. One more time, right up, left forward, and in, left up, right forward, and in. Now let's all bring our feet down to the mat. Right leg up, lift the left foot, extend. 2 feet down, left leg up, right foot up, extend. 2 feet down, right leg up, extend left. And down, left leg up, extend right. And down, hug in, woo. Rock side to side. Inhale and exhale. All right, so how can we add the obliques to that, you say? Well, here's how. Okay, put both feet on the mat. And just let the knees open and close for a moment. Inhale and exhale. All right, so how we started out, arms are long by your side, right? We've got 2 feet on the mat. We're taking the right leg up. Now, as you lift your left foot, like an inch or 2 off the mat, and as you extend your left leg, bring your left arm toward your right foot. And come down 2 feet to the mat. Left leg up, right foot lifts. As you extend your right leg, right arm heads toward the left foot. Let's do that again. Right leg up, left foot slightly lifts and twist. Left arm to the right toes and down. And left leg up, right foot lifts and right hand toward the left foot. As your right leg extends, bring it down. Woo! All right, let's see if we can do that from knees bent, right leg up, left leg extends, left hand to the right foot, knees in, left leg up, right leg extends, right hand toward the left foot, and extend. Here we go, up on the right, reaching for the right toes, and down, up with the left, reaching for the left toes, and down, and if you want to do it with your legs straight or either one of the other versions, 2 more times. Here we go. Right up, left down, reach, and back, left up, right down, reach, and up, and one more time, to the right, and to the left, and bring it in, and rock around. Alrighty. Raise 1 foot if you liked it. Raise 2 feet if you loved it. There you go. Alright, now that you have your feet in the air, just go ahead and rotate your ankles one direction and the other. Why not? Alright, bring your feet down. Let the knees open and close. Whew. And I told you we're going to see a lot of circles, so we're going to be coming to hands and knees for our hip release moves. Okay, so once again, hands and knees. If that doesn't work for you, you can do this standing at a wall. Okay, we've got the knees under the hips and the wrists under the shoulders with possibly the hands, the palms of the hands lifted onto a rolled up mat or something, sturdy to take some of that right angle out of the wrist. Okay, find center here. 4 points of balance. Take it to a 3-point balance by bringing the right leg up to hip height. See if your hips went like this or if they're still square. Square off the hips and tiny circles. One direction and a little larger here. And then pause and go tiny circles the other direction and a little larger. And bring the right knee down. Same thing on the left. We're trying to keep the hips square to the mat, right? We don't want to hike up. Engage the core and tiny circles. And a little larger. And pause and go the opposite direction. Circles and a little larger. And release. All right, now walk your hands forward and set your hips back toward your heels. Okay, just a little bit toward your heels. And then go ahead and take both hands over to the right and let your hips press toward the left. So it's almost a child's pose, but the spine is long and the head is not really down on the mat. We've got plenty of room here. And then come up back through center. Take your hands to the left, hips toward the heels on the right. Getting a nice stretch in that right side. All right, bring your hands forward. Come into a knee down plank, and our emphasis here is on the forward and back motion of the hips so they further release. Okay, so it's not so much the strength moves that we sometimes do here, often, I should say, with the push-ups, right? Plank. We're just really working on the hips here. And then come back into your table pose and go ahead and make some circles. walk the hands a little forward of the shoulders to give yourself more room. And continue to release the hips in the circle one direction and then the other. So we're making circles with the body. And then find your way to child's pose. See if your hips are ready now for child's pose. You want your forehead this time. The forehead is connected to the earth. So it's either resting on your mat or your hands, maybe even fists. And just breathe. So come on up, back up to table and just sit off to the side. We're going to be doing around the World Sun Salutations. So I just want to release a little more before we come up and be a little, a little more calmed down, because that's going to be a lot of energy. All right, here we go. So we're just going to sit in a comfortable, easy seat with the spine nice and long. Hands to the knees and take the spine forward and to the left, back and to the right. Or you could be going the other direction. It doesn't matter. We will be going both ways. So we're just making some nice big circles here, giving the body a moment of rest and just making sure everything is nice and loose. And the next time you're forward, hold, and we're going to go the other way, whichever way you didn't go last time. Just give yourself some nice little circles here. And then come back up to center. Now let's just take a moment to sit and breathe. All right, so we're going to come back to hands and knees for just a moment. And two choices here for standing up. Either come down dog and walk up to your hands, or walk your hands back towards your knees, right? Lift your knees. And for some people, this is an actual squat. For me, it's kind of like I'm working on it. Hands to the heart. And press through your legs. Oh my goodness. And release. All right. So shake it out. If that particular style of getting up doesn't work for you, then you just go to down dog and get up that way. All right. Anybody feel your legs when you did that? A little bit. Quite a lot. Yeah. All righty. So remember in the Round the World Sun Salutation, okay, we're going to be doing our moves, and then we'll be coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Then we'll be facing back, what will feel like backwards for you, winding up, facing the other way, and coming to the top of the mat, and that will be the first side. And we'll be doing the same thing on the other side. So you have all done this before. And it's not going to get too fancy because it's a long time to remember from one side to the next. So let's go ahead and find the feet hip-width distance apart. Everybody ready? Yeah. Okay. So we're finding mountain pose here. And if you ever, if you want to break out into something that we're not doing, always feel free. This is your practice. Float the arms up, inhale. Now exhale, swan dive over those hip creases, straight legs. Hands to the thighs, hips back, shine your heart forward. Start bringing the hips down, bring the hands down, step back with your right leg and come into this lunge. As always, we like to spend a moment in the lunge, just wiggling around, moving around. And then drop your right knee and come into just a nice little low crescent lunge here. All right, let's bring the hands down, tuck your back toes, and sweep your right arm up and open. That's your left arm, sorry. Sweep your left arm open, lift your back knee, and then bring that left hand down and come into your plank. It's knees up or down. Inhale and exhale. And a nice strong chaturanga here. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Cobra or back bend of choice. Always your choice. Bring it down. Okay, find your way to down dog. So you might go table to dog. You might lift, lift, lift. Inhale and exhale. All right. So we're going to add a couple of circles here. Take your right leg up to hip height like we just did in table. Spin it around one direction and a little larger. Pause, spin the other direction and a little larger. Pause, and then step forward toward your hands and start to walk your hands around to the left till you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Yep. Okay, and then in this forward fold, just let your legs move any way that feels good. You might bring your hands to your thighs. They might be on the mat, whatever feels good to you. Continue to walk your hands around to the left till you wind up with one hand on either side of your left foot. Come into knee down crescent lunge, right knee down, arms up. Okay, bring your hands down, tuck your back toes. We're going to lift that left arm and right knee again, open up. And bring the hand down, coming into knee up or down plank. Chaturanga. And a nice little back bend of choice here for you. Cobra spine. And find your way to downward facing dog. Gonna let dog be our resting pose here. Inhale and exhale. And this time we're just going to take the right leg up, take a step with the right foot toward the hands, and walk the hands around to the left till you're back in a wide-legged forward fold, moving in any way that feels good to you. Wide-legged forward fold. Yeah. And then coming to center, continue walking your hands around to the left till you wind up facing forward with one hand on either side of the left foot. Engage all your muscles and take a giant step forward with your right foot. Take a half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch, and hands come heart center. So that was one time, halfway round. Now we're going to go the other way, so we'll be starting on the left, okay? All right, and I'm going to change the back bend here. You're always welcome to do back bend of choice, but I'm going to change the back bend to locust here, so you'll hear me doing that, okay? So the feet are hip-width distance apart. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive over. Nice straight legs. Again, we don't care how far down the hands come. We want to feel a nice release in the hamstrings here. Bring the hands to the thighs, half lift. Sink the hips, hands down. Take it back with the left leg. Hang out in the lunge. And then bring that left knee down. Right knee is over the ankle. Up into a nice crescent lunge. And then hands come down, back toes tuck, We reach the right arm forward and around and up, and we're open to the right. And hand comes down, and find your way to a plank. Knees up or down. Nice, strong chaturanga. Remember, the most important thing about chaturanga is not whether your knees are up, it's whether you're strong all the way down. No spaghetti spine here. Hands by your thighs, gaze toward the mat. Toes are pointing behind you. Lift your pinkies. Well, shoulders roll toward the ears, down the spine. Then lift your pinkies and your heart. And release. All right, we're going to do that again. Shoulders toward the ears, down the spine, pinkies up toward the sky, and maybe add the legs this time if that works for you. And release. Hands under the shoulders. Find your way to downward facing dog. Find nice balance in the down dog here. This time the left leg comes up and we take some small circles and a little larger. Yeah, looking good. And then pause and small circles the other direction and a little larger. Great. Pause and take a big step forward with your left foot. Walk your hands around to the right, coming into a wide-legged forward fold and being however you want to be in your wide-legged forward fold. You might want to be stationary. You might want to move side to side. And then continue walking your hands around to the right till you wind up facing the back of your mat now. Coming into a low lunge position here with the back knee up first. The back knee comes down. Crescent lunge, arms up. Yeah. Hands down. Tuck your back toes. That right arm reaches forward, up, and open to the right. And bring the hand down. We're going plank chaturanga, down dog. Remember, you can be going knees down. Yes, beautiful. Plank, chaturanga. Oh, before we come into down dog, let's go ahead and come back to the, sorry, almost forgot the locust. This time take your feet mat width distance apart and your hands are still by your thighs here. Shoulders toward the ears, down the spine, lift up, lift the legs, and release. Now one more time, lift into locust with the legs wide, arms extended back, and release. Hands under the shoulders. Now down dog. There you go. Thank you to those of you who hesitated saying, Sheila, I think something was left out here. All right, take your left leg up, step forward with the left foot, and continue walking your hands around to the right. Okay, now this time you may choose to stay a little more stationary and walk your hands forward into a wide-legged downward facing dog. If that appeals to you, try that. If you feel like there's still movement in your wide-legged forward fold that you need to make, do that. All right, we're coming back, walking the hands back here, and then start to walk your hands around to the right till you wind up with one hand on either side of your right foot. Engage all the muscles of the body, super strong here. Big step forward with the left, half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. Woo, and hands come heart center. All right, just find mountain pose and either defocus your eyes or close them, whatever feels good to you. And think about your journey that you just took. You went around the world twice. How did that feel? then just shake things out. Everybody good? All right, so we want to work balance, and our pose of the month is tree. So we're just going to work a nice little basic tree here. Okay, so let's find mountain pose. Keep the mind nice and calm. Find a steady focus spot, right? A place where you can gaze, also known as your drishti. And then bring your hands to your hips, and let's go ahead and raise the right heel. And make sure that when you raise your right heel, you don't sink into your left hip. This left leg stays nice and straight. And then start to lift the right knee. See if that's the right thing for you to do today. And release. Okay, let's see how the left side is acting. Left heel up. And let's see what happens when the left foot comes even higher. All right, so that's your basis for your balance today. All right, so we've got hands on hips, right heel up, right knee out. Remember, we don't take it so far out that it's pulling the hip. Right knee is just open. And then find a home for your right foot on your left leg and come into your tree. And it doesn't have to be a non-moving tree. You might be moving. And release. All right, let's do left side, left heel up, knees coming out, foot to the leg, or you might even still have your toes touching the earth. That works too. And release. All right, so that was our nice steady tree. We've got a basis for knowing what's happening. So we're going to add some arms to it. All right, if you want to just float up into tree with your arms lifted, and that's you today, just go ahead, float up. If not, come into tree first, and then hands to heart and decide if your arms are coming up. Okay. And release. And do it on the left. Remember, you can take it in stages, or you can float up. Just because you floated up doesn't mean you can't come down and up 100 more times while we're doing this, right? We're just teaching our body a little bit about going in balance and coming back out of balance. Let's come down and mountain pose. Whew. Inhale and exhale. All right. So go ahead and play with your tree. I'm going to give you a minute. I'll tell you when we're 30 seconds in, and you can either play on one side the whole time or split it up. If you had one side that's giving you a little more of a hard time, then try and focus on that side, okay? Does that make sense? Everybody good? I just need to start the timer. All right, we're halfway through, so decide if you're going to stay with the side you're working on or go to a different side. All right. And 3, and 2, and when you're ready, just come back, plant 2 feet on the earth, and just take a moment to feel whatever's happening for you here. shake it out. Okay, so you've worked a lot, really hard. This has been a quite active practice. We're going to balance it out with the Moon Salutation, okay? And you guys know it's going to be triangle to pyramid. And if you want to have a block or 2 blocks nearby for your pyramid, go ahead and have that. So pyramid, of course, you can either be here with your hands gently on your leg. Some people's hands come to the mat. Some people like to have hands on a block, okay? So whichever, you have done this before, so it never hurts to have a block nearby just in case you decide you want to pull it in, right? All right, so here we go. We're going to start in mountain pose. Float the arms up and sway. Daisy. Remember, this is to balance out all the hard work you've been doing, so keep it nice and gentle. Side and side. Now take the legs wide open, toes out, arms open for 5-pointed star. Knees over toes, bending, moonflower. Yeah, coming back to 5-pointed star. Right toes to the right, arms are long, legs stay long. And let's warm up the side body first. So we reach to the right and back, to the right and back, to the right and back, and then reach, 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 right hand drops. Make sure your palm is facing out so you're not pressing into your leg, and you're in triangle. Now gaze up towards your left fingertips and follow that left hand back down around. That left hand and right hand can rest gently on your right leg for pyramid. Your hands might reach the mat. You might have 2 blocks, 1 hand on each block, or you might have 1 block, 2 hands on 1 block. Okay, your pyramid, your way. Now come back into triangle. Bring it up, toes out, arms up, 5-pointed star. Moonflower. Now spring together, arms overhead, and daisy, and daisy, and daisy, and daisy, and release. All right, if you want to move your blocks to the other side, we're going to be heading to the left, block or blocks, or if you're not using them, then you're not using them. Okay, we're doing the same sequence to the left. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Inhale the arms up, and we just flow gently side to side and side to side. And then open into 5-pointed star. Toes are out. Moonflower, knees bend, elbows to waist. 5-pointed star. Triangle prep. Left toes forward, arms are long. We reach and release. Reach and release. Reach and release. This time we're going for it. Reach, reach, reach. Triangle. Remember, we need those shoulders stacked. We don't care how far down the hand is on the leg. Gaze up towards your right fingertips. Follow that right hand down. Coming into pyramid with either a gentle touch on the legs, hands 1 on each block, or 2 hands on 1 block. And then find your way back to triangle. Good, and from triangle, we're going to come back up to 5-pointed star. The toes are facing out. Moonflower, elbows to waist. Spring the legs together, and daisy, and daisy, daisy, and daisy, and release. Woo! All right, everybody good here? So when I was doing that with the blocks, and each of you has at least 1 block, right? I noticed that when I was here in my pyramid with the block inside my left foot and I put 2 hands on the block, I got an extra special release in the outer leg here, in my outer leg. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, so take 1 block and put it off to your right. See if you feel the same thing, okay? And we're going to turn the right toes forward, left toes in at an angle, so starting out in our triangle prep posture here. Reaching forward, 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 coming into triangle. Gaze up towards your left fingertips, and then bring your left hand down, okay? Now, take both hands, the block is outside of your right foot, and put both hands to the block outside your right foot. And come back to center and move the block and put two hands on the block inside your right foot. And then come back up to triangle and lift up. Okay, and we're going to try it to the other side. So the left toes are forward. Take your block with you. Starts outside the left foot. Arms are out. We're coming triangle on the left. Both legs are straight. Arms are straight. We find the right fingertips. Bring the right hand down. And then put two hands on the block outside of the left foot. And come up. Switch the block inside. Put two hands inside. And so this block could be at its lower edge, at its medium edge, at its higher edge. And then find your way back up into triangle and lift up, hands to the hips here, and then just find a way to get your legs back together and shake it out. Did you feel anything when you had two hands to one side? A little extra, right? Okay, maybe, and if it wasn't you, then I mean, we're all different, right? So we keep trying various things and see what we like. All right, let's get ready to come down. First, just move around, you know, shake everything out, make sure everything's happy, do the hokey pokey, right? And look around and see if there's anything you want for final relaxation in your space, okay? If it's chilly, something to cover yourself up with. If it's bright, an eye pillow, you know all the things, right? Okay, so here we go. The feet are hip width distance here as we come back to the top of the mat. And just scan the body. Just review. Where is everything? Float the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive over straight legs and see where the hands go now. The legs have been used a lot. So we just observe, we don't force, we don't judge. Bring the hands to the thighs, hips back, shine your heart forward. Sink the hips down, hands down, and find your way to downward facing dog. If you feel like you just have to do one final vinyasa, then go right ahead. Remember, it's your practice. If you feel like I'm done, had enough dogs in my life today, bring your knees down and be a table. And then once you get to down dog or table, go ahead and move the hips around. If the knees are up, they can bend and straighten. And bring your knees down. And wherever you're coming from, take your time. We'll meet in seated mountain pose. So if you did something and it's taking you a little longer to get here, don't worry about it. Just come into seated mountain pose. Let's get real balanced here on the sit bones with the spine long, the feet flexed. All right, and now just loosen everything up. Whew. Just let it go. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to float the arms up and come into a super gentle forward fold. And roll your hands up, your legs, float the arms up, and another super gentle forward fold. Just release into it. Stay here for a few breaths if you want. And roll yourself back up. Now we're going to come down to the earth. Okay, rolling down. Inhale and exhale here. And when you get here, just let your knees gently open and close. We're going to come back to the hips with a nice pigeon. So take your right ankle, recline pigeon, take your right ankle across your left thigh, flex your right foot, and draw your shin in towards you here, okay? See if your right knee is like pointing towards your face, and if it is, just press it away. And then hold on to your left leg, either the hamstring or the shin. And if neither of those is comfortable, the side of your leg, whatever is feeling good to you. We're going to hang out here in pigeon. Send breath and warmth and lots of love to that right hip. And see what the right hip responds with. Now take a moment to check to see where your left knee is. Bring your left knee in line with your left shoulder, as opposed to the left knee coming toward the belly. It's always good to revisit that. And then from here, keeping the same exact position, just take your left leg straight up, point and flex the foot. Go nice and deep, and then circle the ankle one direction and the other. And then release everything, unwind, 2 feet to the mat, knees gently open and close. This time we take the left ankle across the right thigh, the left foot is flexed. Draw the legs in. Check to see what that left knee is doing. If it's pointing towards your face, press it away so it's more like parallel to your shoulders instead of coming in. All right, and then hold on to your right leg. You might have your hamstring, you might have your shin. Send that light and love and warmth to the left hip. And then check to see where that right knee is going. Bring it in line with your right shoulder. Just relaxing into this. And then extend your right leg straight up, point and flex the right foot. And circle the ankle one direction and the other. And release, unwind, 2 feet to the mat, knees gently open and close. Take your arms long out to the side. Extend your fingers and wiggle them in. Extend and wiggle. So we're making a gentle fist and extending, wiggling, and then rotate the wrists one direction and the other. Now with your arms still long, go ahead and turn your head from side to side, slowly releasing the neck. And then come back to center and start to feel around in your body. See if there's any particular moves that still need to happen for you, any realignment that needs to take place as you figure out where do I want to be for final relaxation today. Okay, so work on it. And then as you're ready, start settling into your final relaxation position. And once you're there, inhale through the nose. And slowly exhale through the mouth, releasing the body onto the earth. letting go of all effort and just being in your final relaxation. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Allow your breath to deepen. Gently bring movement back to the body, little fingers and toes. And on your next inhale, stretch the arms and the legs long. And as you exhale, draw your knees in. Find your way over to a side. And up to a nice, easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.